it would seem that there is a possible misunderstanding about the life and career of John Wayne. No historical facts or reputable sources substantiate the idea that his sexual orientation led to his downfall in Hollywood. We have established that John Wayne was not homosexual, and there is no evidence to suggest that his sexual orientation influenced his life or career. In the following paragraphs, I will address certain myths while also providing context for his legacy, the disputes he was involved in, and the circumstances that contributed to the difficulties he experienced later in his career. The Hollywood icon that is John Wayne. What role did John Wayne's on-screen persona have in the development of his identity as a cultural icon in the United States? Born Marion Robert Morrison in 1907, John Wayne became one of the most enduring stars in Hollywood history. Known for his appearances in westerns and war films, he exemplified the conventional masculinity of the United States of America, as well as the rugged individualism of the day. His movie character as the courageous and unassuming hero resounded with viewers for decades, and films such as Stagecoach 1939, The Searchers 1956, and True Grit 1969 solidified his place as a legendary figure. Controversies and points of view in politics. When it comes to the political environment in Hollywood during the 1940s and 1950s, what impact did John Wayne's membership in the House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC, have? Wayne's unwavering commitment to conservatism intricately connected his public and private lives. As someone who was outspoken in his advocacy of traditional American ideals, he became a symbol of patriotism for millions of people. However, his outspoken political beliefs led to significant criticism, particularly during a period of tremendous cultural and political upheaval among Americans, as well as Hollywood politics during the HUAC era. In what ways did John Wayne's membership in HUAC influence the ties he had with his contemporaries in the Hollywood industry? Wayne strongly supported the House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC, in the 1940s and 1950s, tasked with investigating the purported communist connections in the Hollywood industry. During his time in the industry, he was a member of the Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals, which was an organization that supported anti-communist groups. This alliance caused some of his contemporaries to look away from him, especially those who considered the acts of HUAC to be repressive and a danger to the right to free speech. The interview with Playboy from 1971. In what ways did Wayne's remarks in the interview with Playboy affect his reputation in the entertainment industry and among the general public? The interview that Wayne gave to Playboy, in which he made controversial statements regarding issues like racism, colonization, and civil rights, is widely considered one of the most consequential events in his career. He explicitly expressed his support for white supremacy until blacks receive sufficient education to assume responsibility maintained that Native Americans were acting in a self-centered manner by fighting European settlers. He disregarded the counterculture groups and young activists that were prevalent in the 1960s, portraying them as disloyal. The words in question provoked controversy, especially in light of the fact that the civil rights movement was gaining steam and racial justice was becoming an increasingly important issue in the United States. Many saw his words as representative of an older generation resistant to change, tarnishing his image among progressive audiences. Cultural norms are shifting, and popularity is steadily declining. What factors led to the collapse of classic westerns and patriotic films, and how did the development of the new Hollywood period contribute to this fall? In the late 1960s, Hollywood was in the midst of a revolution. The emergence of the new Hollywood period, which was characterized by the work of filmmakers such as Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola, brought in a surge of films that mirrored the countercultural culture of the time. Movies such as Easy Rider 1969 and Midnight Cowboy 1969 were successful in attracting younger viewers, which resulted in conventional westerns and patriotic war pictures feeling that they were no longer relevant. Number 5. health issues can lead to a downturn in one's career. The health problems that John Wayne had, especially his fight against lung cancer, impacted his career and the parts that he chose to play. It is also important to note that Wayne's health was a crucial factor in his diminishing fame. During the course of his treatment for lung cancer in 1964, he had surgery that resulted in the loss of one lung and numerous teeth. In spite of the fact that he continued to work, his physical limits made it difficult for him to function in the demanding tasks that he had previously dominated. A misunderstanding about sexuality's nature. Why is it that people continue to have erroneous beliefs about the sexuality of popular individuals like John Wayne, despite the fact that there is evidence to the contrary? It is patently false to claim that Wayne's sexual orientation caused career repercussions. Wayne's public image centered on conventional notions of heterosexual masculinity, despite his non-homosexuality. In addition to being the father of 7 children, he was married 3 times, and his personal life is known to be comprehensively chronicled. A re-evaluation of the past and present. What is the appropriate way for contemporary viewers to judge the cinematic accomplishments of John Wayne in conjunction with his contentious personal beliefs? John Wayne continues to be a character that divides people. A significant number of people saw him as a representation of the idealized vision of American grit and patriotism. His political ideas and contentious utterances, in the opinion of some, are reflective of outmoded ideals that are in direct opposition to the principles of the modern day. Initiatives to change the name of John Wayne Airport. Over the last several years, what factors have contributed to the heightened examination of John Wayne's legacy? Recent years have seen increased scrutiny of Wayne's legacy. The use of his racist words in the Playboy interview sparked a growing movement in 2020 to rename John Wayne Airport, located in Orange County, California. His admirers said that his achievements in the film industry exceeded his personal defects, while his detractors felt that it was improper to recognize him in this manner, given his beliefs. One that is complicated. In comparison to other Hollywood luminaries who experienced societal upheavals, such as Charlton Heston or Clint Eastwood, how does the career trajectory of John Wayne compare to that of similar figures? The career and legacy of Wayne are clear examples of the complications that are associated with stardom and societal shifts. Despite his films receiving praise for their artistic craftsmanship and effect, his personal convictions remain a source of dispute. This dichotomy is illustrative of the more general difficulties associated with reconciling the accomplishments of historical personalities with their flaws. In conclusion, there are many who applaud John Wayne's legacy as a cultural symbol and Hollywood star, while others question his legacy. Wayne exemplified the typical American manhood and patriotism because of his dominating performances in westerns and war pictures. He was known for his work in these industries. His 1971 interview with Playboy revealed his staunchly conservative ideas, support for anti-communist measures, and incendiary statements, reflecting an ideology at odds with the cultural developments of the 1960s and 1970s. As his health continued to deteriorate and the preferences of Hollywood viewers continued to change, these circumstances, along with others, contributed to his fading popularity in his latter years. Given that Wayne's life was shaped by the public perception of heterosexual masculinity, his sexuality did not influence the trajectory of his career despite the persistence of certain myths. Wayne continues to be a character who divides opinion for some. He is a respected cinematic icon, while for others, he is a representation of principles that have become obsolete. His narrative sheds light on the challenges that arise while attempting to reconcile creative contributions with personal views within a cultural milieu that is always changing. If you still here, you must have liked it. So why not like, share, and subscribe for regular updates?